Hey everyone, welcome to Nerdopolitan. We have an amazing guest today. It's Aaron and Ahmet.
Hello.
Hello.
Amazing filmmakers. I just saw The Cure. I saw The Cure Part 2, the short film Faster, The Cure Faster, and it was amazing. It's just like a thrill ride. So sorry to bother you with our chat after the viewing the film. I'm gonna make it even more interesting. Aaron, Ahmet,
Yeah.
who thought of the idea?
I think it was a common idea that me, him, and Mashoud came together with. Like the idea didn't just come into fruition.
Well, we should tell them the way it first started was I wasn't even involved at the very beginning. They were you had just gotten a new camera, right? I think it was right after you got or no, it was even before that. You started with a 5D. They just went up to the mountains and wanted to shoot an action sequence. And I was out of town at the time. And so it started with them just shooting, just kind of playing around. And then that became like, they would come back, he would start editing it together. The sequence was coming together looking good, so they would shoot more. Then I got involved and they were still shooting more. And then a better camera came along. And we just started this, we ended up with a big, really cool action sequence. And then at that point, we were like, we should just put a story around this thing because it's looking like, you know, we're going to just keep going with it. Yeah. So the story came secondary, you know, and it was like it was like we were just sitting around talking, like, how are we going to connect all these action sequences into a story, or how are we going to weave the story around it? Yeah. And that's kind of how it came along. So
the first thing I think about when I see the film is like, where do these guys come from? What's your background? How do you come up with such good editing skills, such amazing drive to, you know, take the action and just put it in your face and keep you hypnotized? Yeah, I am an editor already. I edited a lot of movie and video game trailers since 2002. I edited Call of Duty trailers, Transformers, and the last thing I did was Mission Impossible Fallout. So I have an eye and a feel for action and how to edit action. But the shooting part was new. I have only filmed one more short film before this, so pretty much I haven't filmed anything before The Cure. But I knew what I was gonna film because of the editing skills that, like, I had the idea of the shots that I want to get, and I pretty much, and Aaron too, we pretty much learned how to film while we were filming it. Like, I personally didn't know how to film at all.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, working on trailers, which is where we met, working at a trailer agency, we got to see all the footage, you know, from all films, like all the action films. Yeah, all the big movies. So yeah. I mean, that's like film school right there. Yeah. And then plus you went to film school, and so did I.
Did go to film school, but
yeah, that experience too.
But you know, we learned how to film with the film camera a little bit, the 35mm film. Yeah. But the working with the digital cameras, I had to learn from online, or Aaron knew some. He showed me some stuff like from around the place. Like so, this was the first Cure was an experience that we learned things as we filmed it. We even filmed a couple of stuff twice because even the first time was good. That we kept learning and said, okay, let's go reshoot this certain scene, because we got better and better at it.
Yeah, and he would, like, a lot of times it would start with like just an effect and like something he would be playing around. I remember one day I came over and you're like, hey, check this out. And he shows me on his computer that he'd filmed this little thing in the front of his driveway of just one of our friends crossing the street and a car hitting him, like right as he's walking into the street. And I'm like, wow, that looks real. How did you do that? That looks totally real. And he showed me, you know, green screen was involved, and he composited a couple shots together to make it work. And then how do you make like the guy flip in the air?
He flipped the air for real. They use a parkour guy, you know.
Parkour, that's amazing. So,
he did a lot of jumps and flips, and you know, there's a scene where he jumps off a cliff and rolls down and like hitting all the branches and whatnot. He pretty much did 80%. 80% of that fall was real, and 20% was stitching stuff together and make it look a bit more aggressive. But a lot of the action was real, actually. Yeah.
So, like, I know you guys use special effects, but you also believe in real stunts.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a good combination.
Yeah.
But do you prefer real stunts or do you prefer special effects? Like, say, John Wick or, I don't know, Transformers?
We could say both, actually. The thing is, even the special effects were a bit more old school than today's visual effects. We relied on CGI very little. We used miniatures models for the car crashes.
Miniatures, like little cars?
Yeah, like this big.
Like scale,
scale models.
1/12 scale.
So
that used to happen in Star Wars. Like they use
exactly. Or Independence Day.
Force perspective.
Exactly. Force perspective.
So today actually they would mostly in this circumstance they would do CGI, but with CGI when you watch it, even though if it looks good, you kind of get the subconsciously there's something wrong with it. It's missing the weight. It's not. When a car crashes. Yeah, there we go.
That's good.
When a car crashes, there's something that subconsciously tells you that's not real. That's the CGI. With the models, we believe that it looked very real. Actually, there was a lot of circumstance where people asked me, how much did you spend for the car crash? Or where did you get the car? Or cars, a lot of cars. And they say, hey, that's not real. There's visual effects. It's like, that doesn't look like CGI. Yeah, because it's not CGI, it's effects, it's special effects,
Yeah, there's something with the lighting you can't, he's really big with that. I'll be like, well, can't we just, shoot it separately? And our main thing was, he would always insist we have to shoot whatever we're shooting, because it's compositing the real full-size shots of we had real vehicles that were the same as the scaled down versions. And we were literally going up to the mountains and pulling off the side of the road off a little turnout there. And we would set up this little table that we had set, like a little, folding table that we had painted the surface of the table to look like the street. We painted it asphalt black with the double yellow line down the middle of it, and then we'd set it up on the side of the road with the little cars on there. And I'm sure people were driving by us. We definitely got a lot of looks. People were turning their heads as they're coming around the corner. What are those guys doing over there? But the thing was, we'd shoot the real thing with the bigger vehicle, and then immediately go to the tabletop off the side of the road and shoot the smaller version because the lighting matches right then and there.
That's amazing. For people that don't understand what we're talking about, force perspective is a special effect that it's on your eyes, and you have to use a depth of field.
Yes, yeah.
Depth of field. So you have to when you use the camera, you have to really close the iris, the diaphragm.
Yeah, so that you don't get that. You don't want the shallow depth of field. You want it.
Yeah, it depended on the shot. Some shots were filmed by a GoPro, the infinite field of view.
Okay, GoPros have good range of field, of depth of field.
Yeah, and some shots were long shots, long lens, 100 millimeter. But we would move the model. We would literally park a real car.
Yeah.
And move the model to a place where it looks like it's the same size,
Yeah.
Then move the real car away and leave the model where it is and just blow it up.
Yeah. So you do one shot where you're focused on the little car that's up close to the camera.
Yeah.
And then you take that car away and you focused it on the car in the background, and then you composite them both together.
So you guys were basically playing with toy cars.
Yeah, you could say that.
It's Hot Wheels.
Yeah, but
they're a little fancier than Hot Wheels, but yeah.
The thing is, though, it was not just the models that we blew up. It was a combination of multiple things. Sometimes we used real cars for the VFX. For example, if you see a car spinning around, that was a real car. We figured out a way to film it, and it looks like spinning. And a lot of the times we did use the real cars. And
that's right. I forgot about that shot. Yeah, there's the shot where he's in the original Cure. He's, you know, there's a shot where he like, I don't know, you're being chased and then you flip the car into reverse and you're driving essentially backwards and you're shooting at the guy. Yeah. So, and to get that shot of him spinning around, we actually got in my car and had somebody holding the camera, and he was parked stationary in the middle, and we drove around in a perfect circle around him with the other camera, and then he used it to make it look like the car was spinning around. It was
so you guys give like badass a new name. Like you guys like you come out of the door and you start like shooting, just like kicking ass.
There was a lot of
both of you are a star also in the film.
We did figure out a lot of that stuff, how we were gonna do it. Probably the one that I lay down and shoot, like Aaron probably came up with the idea how to film it.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think originally you were doing something else, and I'm like, why don't we just have you just fully laying backwards, like Matrix style?
And we just came up with a cool action ideas, and we just spent a couple of days thinking about how we're gonna do this. The first thing we will try is do it for real.
Okay.
If it's not going to happen for real,
what do you mean?
I mean, a shot, you know, any shot that we have in mind. First, the idea is to do it for real. If it's not happening in real, do it in front of green screen, or do it with a model. And the last option was CG. If nothing works, then the CG. But
this was a constant thing with us. Like, it's even still, like talking about future, what we want to do. Like, you know, the movies obviously got a lot of, you know, firearms, you know, in the movie, and
non-stop action.
My thing was, I don't want to we got to be really careful, like where we're taking these, even though they're fake guns, they look real, and anybody out in public might think that they're real. We don't. The last thing we want is to have any kind of problems or anything like that.
Did you guys get a permit?
No,
I did get a permit for the mountain.
Oh, right. We did do that. I do remember that. But they didn't know that we were exactly what we were shooting. So his thing was like, let's just go. And I was always like, well, let's just shoot the gun stuff in the backyard in front of the green screen, and then we'll go up and we'll do everything else up on the mountain. And sometimes we compromised, and we would just pull off to the side of the road and tent ourselves off a little bit so nobody on the road could see what we were doing. And, you know, we did it as safely as in the end, we did everything very safe. Like, we didn't really put ourselves at risk, but
that's why nobody's in jail.
Yeah, or worse.
Or nobody got shot.
Nobody got shot. Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty careful with the car chase as well. Like, we didn't really go over 50 miles at most at any time.
They look faster.
Yeah, we did. I mean, it's the camera tricks. The lenses,
and
maybe like to
proximity to the ground.
Oh, okay. So like
get the camera as close to the ground as you can, and you get that
like a worm's eye view.
Yeah. Like because we didn't. It's very rarely that we sped up the shots too much. Like we only sped up maybe 120% or 20%, 30%. You know, normally other people you see like they will double the speed to make it look like fast. Like, we didn't do that. We only sped up 20-30%, but because of the angles and how we were filming, it already looked fast in the camera.
It looked amazing. Okay, so I have a good question for you guys. I think you're editors, but you're also animators. Because like doing like the stuff like the post production is like it has to do also with animation, like you know, like frame by frame, making each little effect possible.
Yeah,
that's really his expertise. I mean, I dabble with it, but he's the one that really. I mean, he did all the effects in this film. So,
did you guys have a storyboard, like an animation style?
I would storyboard from other movies mostly.
You use storyboard for other movies, and you say, "I want this. I want this."
Yeah, I have a huge library of movies, maybe over 1,000 movies. So I would bring in a lot of scenes that I like, and say, "Okay, we like this frame a lot. We like this frame. And then we put our own flair into it. We don't just copy the shots exact same, but that was a good storyboard. I would take a frame, I would show it to Aaron, show it to the other people, say this is the kind of shot we are looking for.
He would have the whole scene cut already using shots from 100 different movies, like just to get the idea of, okay, this is the type of shot for this angle, this is what and so he would cobble together the scene, which if anybody were to watch it, they'd be like, what am I looking at? But, we we're on the same page. We know this is just the concept. This is how we want it to play through. And so it was there. Like, we already could see it. And then we'd go out and film as much as we were filming at the time. You were working full time.
Yeah.
I was working part time, sometimes full time. We only had the weekends. We were only shooting on the weekends. And even then, the look of the movie is like cloudy day, which is almost never cloudy here. So we have to wait till late afternoon to even start to get that look. So it took us 3 years to make this thing. But what was my point? Was that?
Yeah, we were saying that.
Oh yeah, so we would go out and shoot.
Everything was well planned with the storyboard.
Well, he would shoot and come back, and he would take the footage that we shot for that weekend or whatever, and drop it in and swap out the storyboard shots for our shots, and then it just would slowly start coming together, and it was really cool to see that, to see it.
Sometimes we would film something that we didn't plan. We just came back with some stuff that looked really cool, and we didn't really plan for it. But
the best stuff that we got, I think.
Then we incorporated that into the movie, like
so the script kept changing as you were shooting.
Yeah, we did. We never really had a written script.
Do you want to admit to that already?
We did have a written script
for the final scenes.
For the scenes with the Glenn Bagley, the head of the corporation.
The bad guy.
He's a great actor. I love all the actors. We'll talk about the actors later. But so let's keep with the story. So you guys, as you were shooting and doing stuff over the period of 3 years, you were like improvising and doing okay, let's do this and let's do this, and it's just have fun with it.
Actually, this is style that some European movies do that. Like they just film and. They let the story find itself organically.
You guys found the ending towards the end of your shoot.
We did, yeah.
You wanted to close loops.
We had no idea.
We did know that there was gonna be the MacGuffin, the bag, the suitcase, but we didn't really know what was in the suitcase until towards the end of the filming. We said it could be a bomb, it could be some.
Why is everybody chasing this guy for this case?
It could be documents of money or like...
yeah, that's true. We didn't really have that figured out.
It could be some blackmail photos of somebody, like it could be anything. So we said, okay, let's shoot this action and we get the MacGuffin and everybody's after this case and we'll figure out. But
we'll figure the story out.
But the cure for a disease was always we always had that idea.
Oh, that's the main topic.
It was a possibility.
I mean, it was one of the options.
Yeah.
But we said, okay, do we do the disease? Do we do some sort of a money? Or do we also considered maybe we won't mention what it is. Like Pulp Fiction, it's just a suitcase.
Yeah, that's called what's it called, Carlos? The
MacGuffin, yeah.
MacGuffin.
Yeah, we
I find that disappointing. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, Ronin did that, The movie Ronin.
I like MacGuffins, but here it worked as not a MacGuffin. It worked better.
Ronin's a good movie.
Yeah.
I like Ronin.
Ronin, yeah.
Yeah, but we were disappointed that we never got to know what's in that suitcase. And I think that they came with the idea from Pulp Fiction.
In Pulp Fiction, you don't know. You don't know, and Pulp Fiction is more like a caricature, like what's in there.
Yeah,
it works better. In Pulp Fiction, it works really good.
Yeah, it does.
Actually,
that one it does.
I heard they asked Tarantino what's in that suitcase, and he said, I don't want to say what's in the suitcase because whatever you think is in the suitcase is the is correct because that's what it is.
What about 7? What's in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
You find out what's in the box, I think, don't you?
Yeah. So
is it the head, the girl's head, or something like that?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you find out.
You don't have to see it. If you just know what it is, that's almost even more terrifying.
But
I think that's one of Brad Pitt's best acting is what's in the box, and they
that's true. Yeah, it was pretty impactful.
you can see his
we had harder time. We spent more time figuring out the story elements than the action. If someone asks what was the hardest part, was
definitely the story,
building the story bit. Like the action was at some point it came easy, you know.
Did you ever you guys ever have the temptation like, oh, this looks so cool, let's put it out there, like even though you weren't finished yet? Because you're building the story as you go, and it's looking amazing, as it does. So, over a period of 3 years, like, just put it out there. Maybe somebody like it.
We didn't plan it to take 3 years anyway.
And I think by the time it was taking that long, we'd invested so much of our time into it that we were willing to go however long it was going to take to get it done and put it out as a complete, picture, as a complete story with a beginning, middle, end, But yeah,
I get answers with my stuff, like the stuff that I want to do, like just like let's put something out there so that people can see it.
I think we did for a while.
Yeah,
we were getting a little impatient.
Luckily, at the time, we were not really on Instagram or Facebook much.
Okay.
So we didn't have any place to really put it out there. If today I would just put stuff on Instagram, But at the time, we didn't have any of that. We were so busy making the film.
This came out last year, or when did it come out? The Cure?
When did we put it out? 2019?
The Cure came out into we did the premiere in 2019, July.
Yeah.
July 2019, and it came to YouTube May of 2020.
Yeah, we submitted to a few festivals in between that time, but it was a little too long for.
We got some stuff.
Yeah, we won one.
Stuff
festival,
that's
like small festivals.
A couple of festivals that are actually specified in action genre or multiple genres.
Yeah,
we got those.
It seems like it was a little long for most festivals. Like it's 40 minutes, so most festivals don't really want.
So okay, this is the next question. What about the next film you guys want to make? It's going to be like a feature film, like 90 minutes.
Yeah, Aaron already got some connections and some requests for things, and I do myself. And what I'm gonna do, Aaron might be involved also, is a TV show in Turkey.
You're gonna go to Turkey?
I will go. Yeah.
Why not do an action film in LA?
Well, I'm Turkish, so.
Well, you're also in LA.
Yeah, I will go do that. That's a good opportunity. That's a good futuristic action flick, and I have a lot of freedom to do whatever I want, and it has budget.
A little more experience too before coming back here, and
then we might do maybe a third part for The Cure. Wrap up some open-ended things that we didn't get to yet, but that's for later on. And there's a couple of options, couple of opportunities that we got, and we are talking about. Like we got bigger stuff than what we were doing previously. This stuff that I turned down already. So I think this TV show is called Wolf. It's already on Netflix. The season 1 is on Netflix. It's a Turkish TV show. So I'm doing the season 2, which is going to take place in 2039.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm on right now.
My mom will probably see it. She loves everything like from the Mediterranean. She loves all the soap operas, also like the films.
From Turkey.
Everything from Turkey, she watches it.
Yeah.
So my mom will probably watch the stuff you do.
It seems like it has a pretty big audience from what I can gather already.
Yeah, the show has already has a built-in audience worldwide, not just Turkey. It's international audience.
That's cool. Yeah. That's amazing.
And he's already cut the teaser for it, and right?
Yeah, there's already material out there.
So yeah,
how was the casting process for you guys?
Yeah, you guys had really good actors. like for example, one of my favorites is like the bad guy, the you know, like the CEO. He's a great actor. And the girl pilot. Why did you guys kill that character? That was so amazing. I loved. I was just like, you know, just her eyes were huge and they captivated you.
She was natural,
almost like a manga. And you guys go and kill her. And, you guys recover her, and then you go and kill her with a truck.
Yeah, both
spoiler alert.
Both Glenn and
sorry.
Both Glenn and Evangeline are actually real actors. They do that for a living. So I guess that's a good catch that you called out the actors. For example, Mashud is an actor too, but he's more like a athlete.
Yeah.
With
he does parkour. You have to be like a martial artist.
He's more like an athlete. I'm the director. Guy. I just say that it's small.
We gave ourselves, like, if we were friends, so we're all hanging out, coming up with this idea.
Wait, you hang out of the car and you do like this, no?
Yeah.
So did you train for that?
There's not much training needed for
that. Was all in the backyard.
And you also you had your machine gun.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean, most of
that
stuff we weren't even moving. We were in the backyard. We had a leaf blower to create the wind, and we just put green screens everywhere.
That's awesome.
You know?
Well, I try to make sure that everybody has their moment. Everybody has a cool stuff going on for them. You know, like. We got Joey, and
but the main point was most of the actors were just us, like the group of friends. But then we ran out of people, and we needed the main characters that were going to deliver most of the lines. And that was when we were like, well, okay, we should actually hold a casting session for those parts.
Yeah, both Glenn and Evangeline came from casting call.
Okay, you guys got great actors for that.
Yeah, they came from casting.
Yeah.
Other than those
congratulations to the actors, Evangeline, and Glenn. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Those are the only two people we actually didn't know. Everybody else we already knew.
Everybody else is just like, you know, let's do a film.
Part of the friend group.
It's like my coworkers.
Congratulations to everyone. It's an amazing film. I'm a fan. Cool, man.
Yeah, I would call like my coworkers. Or like, you know, he would call his coworkers, and of course not just anybody.
Wait. There's this guy. What's his name? I think Carlos knows.
Who?
You know the guy. Yeah, he acts as one of the operators
in our movie.
Keith.
Oh, Keith.
Right. Awesome role, Keith. Keith from Jersey.
Yeah, Keith.
Awesome role, Keith. I liked it. He also does a cool cameo in the web series that we did with Matt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I gotta look. I don't think I've seen the whole thing, so I don't think I remember his part in that. So
no, it's in the 8th episode.
Okay.
Look at it. My brother and I, we acted it, so, you know, call us.
Yeah, you guys did really good. I remember. I did see it. At least.
Call us for episode 4 of The Cure.
Yeah.
I'm down for acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can do it too. You can pull it off.
We have fun with it, so let's have fun with it.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna call you guys for my next project also to act, because you guys are like badasses. You could be fucking, I don't know, beat somebody up. Okay, nerdy questions. Okay, you guys edited what? After Effects, Premiere?
Yeah, Premiere, After Effects. We stayed in Adobe programs. And the visual effects as well, all After Effects. There's no extreme 3D programs or anything like that. It's all After Effects and Premiere.
Yeah, pretty basic, really.
All the compositing was done After Effects.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the 3D, like I saw like a lot of 3D and cars and stuff.
The cars were 3D. The cars were
those were the models.
Either or real.
The
or
airplane, the jet was the only 3D thing, right?
Yeah. The jet
and even
was
the cockpit. I built the cockpit actually.
The little models, and that was not 3D. That was
which one?
For
you see the crashing in the
we see the crash.
Those were the actual models.
Models
cars.
like this size.
No,
A little bigger than that. They're like
It's big.
1/12 scale.
Like big size models.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
Because if it's too small, it's not gonna.
It's too small.
It's not gonna look
It's
right.
harder to make the effect of the forced perspective.
right.
Yeah. Also, the distraction is not gonna work, or the speed. Like
Not as big.
it's really hard to film a small thing. The bigger it is, the better.
How do you guys get the models? Do you buy them at the hobby shop or?
Yes, you could say that.
You buy them,
Online.
You buy them. Hobby shops have like the scale models that are really the official, authentic looking. And that was really the best way to go.
Yeah, online or hobby shops. His brother works in a hobby shop, so he provided the remote control car.
We used two remote control cars.
Yeah, for a Defender, the Land Rover Defender. The scenes that take place in the forest where the Defender is jumping up and down. No, not that one. The
one that I'm riding in.
He's riding.
Okay.
He's riding and jumping into the sand and creating all kinds of mess. That's a remote control car.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, we actually strapped.
So it actually works, and you shot it with.
We went out to the mountains, and we actually had one remote control car with a GoPro on it. So it's down on the same level.
Yeah, it was.
We got
riding.
a couple shots like tracking along with it, and.
So we had one car that's the acting car, and we had another remote control car which has the camera attached to it, so it would ride with the car, so it would film the car as.
So we had to become experts at controlling these things, because we're coordinating driving the real car alongside and driving the camera car at the same time. So that was a whole other thing.
We also used the remote control car to chase the real car too. I did spend one day with it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So I put the camera on a remote control car, then send it behind my real car, the full size car, on the highway, and I just chased my car, got under the car, and all that stuff. So
if you shoot at scale, you also have to do like slow motion. So
yes,
it's real.
you do. Yeah, 120 frames or 240, as high as possible.
So what type of camera do you use to make it look real? So
most cameras can go up to 120 frames, sometimes 60. The Blackmagic camera we have went up to 120 frames. GoPro goes up to 240 frames. So the least you can get away with is 60, but that's still a bit fast. Like you want to shoot 120 frames.
Okay, and how big can we see this film? Is it like 2K, 4K? Like, can we project it, or is it only for YouTube?
Oh, it's projected. We projected in a premiere. It was like bigger than a home project.
Yeah, it was a regular theater.
It was a full-size movie theater.
Yeah. So next time you project that, invite us.
Yeah, and people actually ask me like, "Hey, this looks really good. What is this? Like, is 4K?" I'm like, "No, it's 1080p." Actually, if no one said, you would not know the. I mean, you could maybe tell difference, but it looked pretty sharp in the theater. I was surprised even. It's the same with the second movie, Faster. Like we were filming it, we didn't know how it's gonna look on big screen. And actually, the first time I saw Faster on big screen was after we put it on YouTube, maybe.
So he's got a theater in his place, so he's got the home theater with the screen, big screen, and
we see it pretty late.
He's so used to working on it on his little computer in his office.
Yeah.
That it's
Maybe I was worried that I didn't want to see it on big screen. Like I was like, okay, I don't know how it's gonna look, but once I looked at them,
looks better on the big screen. I think.
Both Faster and The Cure looked really good on big screen. I would recommend you watch on the big screen actually.
I saw it on the Mac, the computer screen, and it looked great. But what about the sound? The sound is like 50% because you got the special effects work better if you hear like.
Oh, you should see his timeline. The soundtracks.
Because it
just looks like it's so much.
Are you guys sound guys, or are you guys you edit, but you also do sound?
That's a big part of doing trailers.
We did not create our sound effects. We used whatever's available from libraries and other sources. and we did record the sound on location, like
some stuff. Yeah,
we did record the location sound, but we weren't like Foley guys, like like we didn't do that, like
I did some of that, but I don't think you used any of it.
Yeah, like,
but it's the combination of all those sounds that wherever you get them from, it's combining.
So
them from
I had a huge timeline, like maybe 20 layers of sound effects and music.
That's
too.
Did you ever feel frustrated just like seeing 20 layers?
The thing is, I do trailers, and we use even more than that. We sometimes people go to 60 tracks of sound effects. So actually, I think in The Cure and Faster, I was more held back with my sound design. Like in trailer world, it's even more.
Okay, so you guys are experienced with like making commercial stuff that is eye-catching, that's eye candy, and making it stick, and that was a big part of making this film.
Yeah. Also, I believe that sound is at least 50% of the movie.
Yes.
Some maybe more. In some instances, like sound actually sells that scene more than the visuals. Like if you turn off the sound, maybe it's nowhere near impactful, but sound can really bring up to the next level. Like in trailers, even we have a lot of instances where you go to a black screen, but you just play some sound, to get that tension up.
And it helps create the world.
Yeah. Sound is very, very important.
And so that's like that explains a lot. Like you guys are experts in making eye-catching stuff and also ear-friendly.
Yeah.
So, the next question. What about like art films, like artistic films? What do you think? What do you guys think about those slow moving films?
I do. I mean, I do look at my short films as partially artistic films, and I watch the art films. I did have a lot of interest in art films around after college.
He has the biggest movie library of anybody I know. Like he's got a theater at his place, and the whole wall is every movie you could possibly imagine. So he definitely has an appreciation. I could attest to that.
Let's inject some film here.
And actually, some scene ideas come from like a bit more different genre of films. Like you see like Stanley Kubrick movies.
Yeah,
sometimes give me ideas.
They're slow moving, but they're amazing.
Yeah, like shot ideas. For example, we a couple of shots we did have.
Which movie?
Kubrick movies. It's like very static and like.
Right.
It's very
geometric. It's all about the framing and everything.
Very geometric frames. Like I try to sometimes emulate that here and there, and sometimes
there was a good scene from The Cure that the guy's being choked on a tree.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Okay, I'm about to die," and you do like a slow.
That was when we go to the snow shot because the snow that scene took 6 months pretty much to shoot the whole fight scene. Well, the fighting sequence it was about 6 months. I mean, because again we're only shooting on the weekends and then going up not starting until the end of the day really. And then that particular scene, we had to hike from where we found the spot off the road that we had to hike for like 20 minutes to get to. And with all our gear and everything, so it was
we had to walk 20 minutes to get to the fight location.
To the location where we shot the fight. Yeah. And we literally had everything in a big. We would get there. We had a wagon that we would like a wheelbarrow basically that we would assemble when we got there because it wouldn't fit in the car. Yeah. And then we'd use that to put all of our gear. It was piled up with all of our gear, and then we wheeled it all the way out. This dirt path that just led all the way for 20 minutes, and then it's off the path. So then we'd leave the wheelbarrow here and then carry all of our stuff down.
Yeah, you couldn't get there with a car. You couldn't get there with anything other than by feet.
So anyway, we started shooting this, and we were getting only a little bit done every day. We would get one part of the sequence, then the next part, and then the next. And
every other weekend.
Basically, and
there was times that like we missed a month sometimes. Like there were periods that we didn't film for a month or two.
That fight scene, though?
No. In general.
I think that fight scene.
I think the fight scene also something came up and we had to take a break for over a month.
Okay, so you guys say that you write on the go, but for example, that scene. The fight scene
that was all choreographed pretty much.
No, but I think you also planned it really well because you have the car that's stuck in the tree.
That was planned, yes.
Yeah, that part was
you have the guy that's like dying. It's like poetry.
Well, the dying sequence.
It's poetry because it seems like he's on the brink of death.
Well, see that whole dying sequence.
To reach for the Uzi and
that whole sequence though.
And the car follows him. That's just like really well written.
That part wasn't planned. We showed up one day to shoot and there was snow everywhere. And we didn't want it to be snow. We were planning on having that snow.
We were gonna continue filming the fight scene and actually.
And we got there and we're like, should we just turn around and go back? And we're like, let's just. Figure out something.
The dreamy sequence was not in the movie.
That was never part of it.
So we went up to the location. We are freezing.
That's poetry.
We are freezing, right? And the fight is without just bare jackets, and the Mashud is all in his short sleeves. And so we got there. It saw snow. Said, do we go back? And we said, you know what? Like
we came all the way up here. It takes forever to get there.
We could do some sort of like out of body dreamy sequence in here because it looks cool. It's like nice all white.
Yeah, it was like fresh snow on the ground. And everything, so
we just decided to film it. I think we spent 2 hours on those shots.
Yeah,
and after 2 hours, I said, okay, we are freezing.
Yeah, they were freezing, and I was freezing too. But I got to wear the jackets and everything the whole time. But they beat themselves up over that. The whole thing was a brutal. I mean, that tested us for sure.
I thought that part, like the guy, like just like fighting for life.
Yeah,
it was poetry. It was a great little pause, and it's all like accidental. That's amazing.
The best stuff came up like that. I think.
Yeah. I mean, not fully accidental because once we saw that, we came up with the idea.
You saw that was amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's good that we could come up with the idea on the spot. I mean, even sometimes we are surprised at how we came up with some of the ideas.
It was mainly like we just didn't want to lose a day of shooting. We'd already gone through all the effort of getting up there, and it's like it'd be just such a waste to turn around and go back. So. Let's just find a way to do something today, and we did. And and actually it was pretty exciting when we came up with that idea. I remember being pretty excited about how that would work. And it did, it worked. Well, the whole movie took us 3 years, about 3 years from start to finish. And then what was the other part of the question?
It's like, what was your inputs in the movie, I guess?
Oh, everything. We kind of were involved in everything, pretty much.
Oh, we were
acting, directing.
We did everything.
Location scouting,
sound,
set building. I built the cockpit for the jet.
Yeah, it was
literally in his backyard on a platform that rolled in and out.
I know this, but that's what I'm like trying to get out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just me, Aaron, and Mashut as the core team of the shows of the movie, and pretty much
had him come too. Why didn't I? Should have thought about bringing him along here.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
I'm sure he would love to.
We'll have an interview. We could interview you guys about the part 2, part 3, and then,
or just have him come for a separate interview.
You guys are welcome anytime.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool.
All right. So one question. Okay, so let's talk about the action film genre. I like the Chinese, like the martial arts films, wushu, and they usually don't cut as much as you guys cut. You guys cut all the time. Have you ever thought about that? Like, making choreographies that just like stay in the frame longer and making it real. Yeah,
we actually did as little cutting as possible especially in the ending fight scene.
Yeah.
But you know, like Mashoud could.
The one where he
Mashoud could
pulls a branch out of his.
That's his.
Yeah, Mashoud could actually carry a scene without cutting. I couldn't carry a scene without cutting.
Oh, okay, so
you know,
he could do it.
He could do it. I couldn't do it because I'm not a trained fighter. So we had to cut for me. So I could set up a couple of the shots of punching and whatnot.
And by the way, amazing. Like some of the swipes that you guys put in there. It's like there's a punch and like vertical punches that like they miss the head by this much.
Yeah.
He had some
really. And that's no special effect. That's actually like a real.
I did accidentally hit Mashoud once or twice.
Oh, you hit him?
He was telling you to hit him though at some point.
Yeah, I did.
I think that's what you do in the wushu films, like Jackie Chan. You get punched. Not with the same force, like you concentrate your.
He punched the tree accidentally once. I duck and he just punched the tree. Like literally, he said, I heard a big loud pang. Like I think he took a chunk of the tree too. Like when he punched, and I hit his face accidentally. Like I don't know.
Did you say sorry?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, afterwards, yeah.
I wasn't hit. Luckily, I got out of that pretty good. But I hit him a couple of times.
You would have been pissed off if they hit you, right?
I think it depends on how it happened. Yeah, but
There's one part I remember in the fight where we literally, because we're literally in the woods, like off the beaten path, and there's the part where you coming at him and you pick him up and run him into the tree, right?
Oh yeah.
And we had to set up. We used our wagon that we brought all of our equipment with us.
Yeah.
We laid down as much like we cleared out as much as we could off the ground to clear a path, and like laid down some wood strips to get the wheels to roll smooth. And we literally had him like on the wheelbarrow. And we arranged it so basically he was pushing him on the wheelbarrow into the tree.
Yeah.
And I'm there with the camera behind them, following the whole way. There was some really interesting
it worked
shots.
out pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It worked out really good.
Yeah, it's actually pretty hard to pick someone up and run forward.
Yeah. That was the thing. We were originally just going to do that, and you're like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
We're like, well, let's figure out how we're going to do this because we got to do it.
Did you guys ever fight creatively?
What's that?
Did you guys ever fight creatively? Like, okay, no, let's do it this way.
Oh,
yeah,
Victor and argue all the time about it.
Yeah. We planned a lot of it. We pre-planned a lot of it, but once we got up there, a lot of that changed. A lot of it, like we dropped some stuff. Okay, I can't do this one. It's not looking good. It doesn't look good on camera. So we changed things and we added some other things. And Mashoud would constantly come up with, okay, let me do a backflip, So we would put that in. Like we did create a lot, but we pre-planned a lot. And within the blueprint of what we planned, we would change things around. And we shot in segments. For example, like we shot like 6 moves. For example, one day, we would repeat those 6 moves again and again. Then we would call the day that we are done. Come back the next day, and okay, what did we do previously? 6 moves. Where did you get punched? So I got one in the head, one. We put makeup there, makeup here, just dirty up the outfit. Shoot another 6 moves. Then go home and come back and add more. Like dirt and debris. So when you watch the movie, you see that both of us.
There's a progression for sure.
We start pretty clean.
They had a whole makeup hour before we would start shooting out in the middle of the woods. Like it was kind of funny.
Yeah, we start pretty clean, and by the end of the fight, we had all cuts and bruises all over the place.
They were a mess driving back at the end of the shoot for that whole scene. I remember you guys were a dirty mess. And then we would always stop at the bottom of the mountain to get some dinner or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That was just funny. The looks that they would get at the restaurant.
We went to dinner with all these bruises and cuts.
People like, okay.
I would be like, I can't take these guys anymore.
It's like sand in the hair.
And people will say, hey, that's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about action films. We talked about the stuff you like, the how you do it, the process. In YouTube, you can tell where your biggest fans are or your biggest audiences.
Yeah.
Where's the biggest audience so far?
It's partially Turkey, Philippines, Indonesia, United States, a good chunk. I think the biggest is Turkey.
Turkey?
Yeah.
Because you're from there.
Yeah.
So people are watching that.
Yeah, people watch that. United States did that pretty good too. United States did good. UK did good.
How many million? You guys already have like 10 million views?
Yeah, we had 10 million views on The Cure and close to 1.5 million or so on Festa.
I watched it this morning.
Oh yeah, we're up to 1.7.
So we have 2 movies up and both of them got pretty good views. Yeah, I think we are pretty happy with what we put out.
So, Aaron, where are you from? So
I'm from Los Angeles, California. Well, Orange County, California. Yeah, born and raised. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know why people in Orange County aren't watching it more. Just like
I know. I'm not as good at marketing myself as he is. I mean, he's already got. Well, see, he's already somewhat known in Turkey because he was doing movie trailers and doing some pretty big projects, and they were sending out, like they would have their like version of what Inside Edition kind of stuff where they would send their TV crew out to come and interview him, Yeah. So he's already kind of got a little bit of exposure out there. So I think that helped, with getting the views, the Turkish views. And then there was the one reviewer, the Turkish guy he reviews movies.
Yeah.
It's all in Turkish, so I don't understand anything he's saying. But he's got a huge following, and I remember the specific day that he did a review on our movie, and it was like normally he trashes I think that's the only thing he told me is this guy normally is not very kind to the filmmakers. Like he usually tears up whatever, he's honest about it. But this guy gave us a decent review, and immediately our views shot up from like I think we were in the maybe tens of thousands of views, and then all of a sudden it just went boom, and we suddenly were getting like thousands, 50,000 views a day or something like that.
Yeah, at some point we were getting 100,000 views a day. Each day, 100,000 views.
Yeah, and that just kept going until it hit 1 million and 2 million, 3 million.
You deserve more.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're going to try to pick up 40 million views from Colombia.
Yeah, let's hope so. We need some viewers from Colombia.
That I'm sharing this with,
Awesome.
Amigos de Colombia, si pueden ver la película de Cure, mírenla pronto, que es una chimba de película.
And hopefully some of the viewers of The Cure will find this and watch it if they're curious enough to see what's going on.
Sometimes they do.
I think what we just talked right now, that's like for filmmakers, for like people that are curious what happens behind the scenes and how you make stories.
Yeah.
I think I had a great time and it was enlightening for me.
Yeah.
Me too. It was fun.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.